It's okay to think about sex.
It's okay to think about sex.
It's okay to talk about sex.
It's okay to talk about sex.
It's okay to develop feelings about sex.
It's okay to develop feelings about sex.
It's okay to show affection towards another person.
It's okay to show affection towards another person.
It's just not okay to have sex now.
It's just not okay to have sex now.
And I'll never forget, like one day in school, we were sitting there, and in my sociology class, we were talking about the babies and stuff, and I'd been assigned 3 triplets and girls or boys, I don't remember, I think they were girls. And I was like, this is crazy. And then I just started crying and busted out crying, and I showed my friends the little pictures, because I've been carrying them around for like a week now. And I was like, this is I can't be pregnant. I was like, I'm me. I don't do drugs, I don't drink. I go to church on a regular basis. I was like, this is so bad. What are people gonna think about me? I just can't believe it.
So how many of you guys know someone that's your age that's pregnant? I know that in Letcher County, a girl under the age of 19 becomes pregnant once every 6 days.
I was 17, and I had met my ex-husband now, and anyways, I ended up pregnant and hid it as long as I could until I was so sick I couldn't. My mom found out, and then we didn't get married until I was 19.
I found out I was pregnant like halfway through my senior year, and that was not the best thing in the world to find out when you're 17. It's kind of, wow. And then not to let anybody know is even scarier.
Well, it was pretty hard because at first it wasn't that bad because I really didn't start showing until I was maybe about 6 months or something. And then as I got bigger, it hit me pretty quick. So when I go sit down in the desk, I couldn't just, flop down like I used to. I had to squeeze in there. And, people, I noticed they try to go out of their way to help me, and it kind of embarrassed me too. I mean, just drew a lot of attention. I never did like much attention.
The most stressful time was I was taking some independent classes that weren't offered at the college I was at, and the paperwork was tremendous in the Shakespeare English class, and trying to get that finished, trying to take care of my babies, there were a lot of tears.
He'd always be there. I'd be crying. I'd call him in the middle of the night, like 2 o'clock, and I'm like, I can't do this. I just gotta quit. I need to quit. I can't handle this anymore. And I get very frustrated about it because it's really hard. It really is.
He was working at that time at Pizza Hut. I was working at a lumber company as an assistant bookkeeper, and we were gonna make it. We were gonna be happy. And of course, 3 months later, I got pregnant with our son, and life became, more challenging, more difficult.
Well, I planned on leaving Whitesburg as soon as I graduated, and I couldn't do that because I was pregnant. And I had all these trips planned out. I couldn't do it because I had all these responsibilities now, and I had to get a job, and I had to work to provide for her.
I was scared for her in the fact that I know what my K-TIP clients, which, the same age as she is, single moms, going to school, how hard it is on them because they have to come to me and say, I ain't got money for my gas, we have to work out a gas problem, my electric bill, work on that. But Janis had the asset, and a very big asset, the fact that she had a lot of support, she had support from me, she had support from my wife, she had support from her grandparents, who were a big support. And my parents, they both passed away now, but they supported her. Everybody was real supportive of Janis.
It's been pretty hard because it just takes a lot because where I have to go to work so early and I have to depend on so many people to help me, and if it wasn't for my family, it would be very hard. Before, I don't know, where I spent all my time at, and, I could sleep. That was my biggest thing. I'd like to sleep late during the day. I'd sleep till 11 or 12 o'clock, and now you can't. When she gets up, I have to get up. I can't let her wander around the house by herself, so it's It's really hard getting used to changes. Because now it's hard, like when you want to go somewhere, trying to get her ready. And if she don't want to help, I mean, you're late for everything. Because, you know, she won't let you fix your hair and keeps pulling it down, or she has her, you know, her days where she won't help, and it makes it hard.
It's rough. I'm very lucky that I had so many people to help me out, though. Where I stayed in Whitesburg and went to community college, it was a lot easier than I mean, it was easier than anything else. Because if I would have gone off, I wouldn't have had any support, and I don't know what I would have done, but school's not easy. And especially when I went to Berea, after I got accepted there, I went there and I have nobody there, and it's a lot harder because you gotta work and go to school, and Berea's a lot harder than Southeast Community College.
And I've always said that it's amazing to me that out of a class of 150, I graduated second. I didn't have a guidance counselor. I didn't have mom and dad. No one tried to discourage us from getting married.
They tell me at Christmas, they're like, by the time next year at Christmas, you better be married to this boy. And I was like, I can't. I was like, okay, we'll see. But I just couldn't see getting married because of a child, because it doesn't help you, and if anything, it can hurt you if you're not really in love and if you guys fight and things.
First of all, just because you're pregnant by the guy, you don't have to marry him. That'd be the first thing. Second, if they're abusive, make sure you don't marry him. Get out of it. Because I went through that too.
One of the most intelligent men on earth is still in the coal mines because he would not make Jason do without anything to go back to school. He didn't want him to sacrifice on things he needed for him to leave the mines to go to school. And so I live every day with him in a coal mines and me worried. So it's hard. I do. I see a lot of pregnant teens, and I see so many teens I worry about. Teens who I think are having premarital sex, and I don't know how cautious. And I just think, you know, they do not realize that life. I think even for the boys, they just aren't really thinking about the consequences of having a child. And I know that girls do, but they just, I think some girls even think that it's almost okay.
Look at this ad. Everything is about sex. It doesn't matter what they're trying to sell you. It has to be about sex. Doesn't anyone think about anything else?
I think that the kids need more instruction. They need to be aware of what's going on around them. They need to get away from the myths. And they just need to know about the dangers there is with that.
Hey, John. Have you and Shannon done it yet?
No, why?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about having sex with Christina.
Well, does she want to?
We haven't really talked about it, but I've been thinking that, well, maybe we should do it.
And you always have the right to say no, no matter what situation you're in. It's your choice.
When is the right time to have sex?
It's your own personal decision. You'll know you need to be able to handle all the responsibilities. Also, you're going to have payments to make every month. You're going to be able to raise a kid. You'll be able to pay the doctor bills if you catch an STI. So it's your personal time.
And I don't think that means just putting everybody on birth control, and I don't think that means giving them condoms at school. I think it means they need to be told what's going on, and they need to have people to look at to see that it's not easy and it can happen to them. I mean, if you're a girl, think about what you would do if it was you, and how you'd feel if people were telling you that you're a slut or a whore. And even if you have the best background in the world, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can be rich, it's gonna happen to you. It can happen. You can be poor and it can happen to you. You can be an only child, you can be a child of 6. There is no certain quota, you know.
It's a shame that more people are not understanding, you know. And back here, the Bible Belt, I understand that, you know, tradition holds true, that, you know, you meet someone, you get married, you have a baby, but it don't always work that way, you know. And you just got to learn to live with changes, you know.
Mommy, when I'm part of the too.
You know what?
I don't play something like too.
it's difficult to say that you would change anything once you have children, because if we did things differently, we may not have Jace, or life would turn out different. So you can't say to go back, but there were so many fun activities that was not a part of my college life.
Well, I wouldn't trade Madison for anything in this world, but I wish I would have waited till after I finished school, because it's hard trying to juggle everything and take care of her. I remember, like being little in the grocery store and, hollering, "Mommy, I want this and this and this," and her trying to, get everything, done, all the shopping done. I gave her a rough time sometimes, and now whenever I go out into a store with Madison and she starts hollering that, I'm like, gosh, I'm sorry, I go home and call my mom and say, I'm sorry, because it is hard. And kids don't understand that until, later. Now I look back and I can see.
But I'm not great at it. If you're great at it, fantastic. I want to watch you for a couple of years and find out what you're doing, because I get by. I mean, I'm not fantastic at any of it, but Anna loves me, and I love her, and our family loves us, and they've accepted it. And I graduated from Berea, and that's a great thing, and I'm getting ready to get a job. And it may not be a $60,000 a year job, and it may not be a job where I travel all over, but I'll be helping people because it's what I want to do. And it's only like 2 or 3 years different than what I wanted to do before. It's not over.